Hello guys! For the first time, Superman found people with weapons capable of destroying him. Will he be able to beat them? Let's find out. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The story begins as Clark Kent and Lois Lane are attending to a fashion show. Suddenly, all the journalists outside begin to gather as Lex Luthor has just arrived with his newest girlfriend. Lois Lane says that woman must be crazy and needs to be warned about Lex Luthor. Clark wants to know who is that woman. Lois Lane revealed that she is the famous fashion designer known as LL. Clark is shocked. It means that this woman is Lana Lang. The woman has already entered the event with Lex Luthor, and this fashion show is entirely made up of clothes she designed. Clark can't understand why Lana is dating Lex Luthor. It turns out that Clark used to date her in the past, but Lois Lane didn't believe him. We see that Lex Luthor was completely mesmerized by the woman's beauty. She had to go make some adjustments to one of her dresses, while Lex stayed behind. Suddenly, a strange man appeared to talk to Lex. He said that the buyers were interested in the product but needed a demonstration. Lex agreed and instructed the man to arrange a demonstration for them. Meanwhile, Lana was adjusting one of the model's dresses when suddenly two women appeared. They were going to try and take Lana Lang away from that place. Clark Kent showed up at the same moment. He wanted to talk to her and saw that the woman had disappeared. The women were almost leaving the building with Lana. It seems like they wanted to take her away to demand Lex Luthor to pay a large sum of money to get her back. But fortunately, Superman managed to put a stop to their plan. He's completely invulnerable to gunfire. And to try and distract him, the women removed Lana's jewelry and then pushed her out of the elevator. Luckily, Superman is extremely fast and managed to save her. He even returned to capture the two criminals. He removed the entire elevator with the women inside it and then left it hanging there in the building. When they were alone, Lana asked Superman if it was his mother, Martha Kent, who sewed that uniform for him. The man was shocked. Lana knows his true identity and he had no idea. Suddenly, Lex Luthor appeared, running with his bodyguards. He wants to know if she's okay, and Superman left the place. The woman said that thanks to the superhero she's fine, and Lex says that for the first time in his life he felt happy when Superman appeared. Lana confirms that she felt the same way. We see that after all of this, Superman went to Lana's apartment to talk to her. She said that him being Superman was always obvious. She always kept herself informed about the fate of her former boyfriend Clark Kent, and after he left Smallville, it was very easy to piece together the information. Superman says he came there to warn her about Lex Luthor, and the woman says that she already knows about him. Everyone tries to warn him about Lex Luthor, but she's used to it, because powerful men always have a, shall we say, strange reputation. But what really matters is that Lana likes powerful men. Superman keeps insisting, saying that this isn't a joke. Lex Luthor is known for smuggling weapons and also for the deaths of thousands of people. It seems he's now selling weapons to an extremely dangerous buyer, and these weapons are hidden in somewhere secret. Lana says Superman is wrong, not to mention she knows how to handle men. The only one she never really managed to handle was Clark Kent himself. Before leaving, Superman asked Lana to be careful for him, and she says she would do anything for him. When Superman leaves, we see that Mercy, Lex Luthor's driver, was outside watching everything. When Lex meets Lana, he demands to know what Superman was doing in her apartment, but she manages to dodge that question by asking why Luthor was spying on her. It seems he's jealous, but he says he's just curious. Lana said that Superman came to her apartment to warn her about Lex Luthor's reputation, but she told the superhero that she likes evil men. Suddenly, that strange man came to talk to Lex. Lana had to leave, but on the way out, she stayed behind the door listening to the conversation. They were discussing the next shipment of weapons, and the demonstration would take place tonight. They even talked about the place and time where everything would happen. Lana heard everything, but Mercy heard Lana listening to everything. The employee told Lex she overheard the whole conversation. Maybe it would be better if she were killed, but Lex Luthor says no. Not to mention that it didn't mean anything, since she probably didn't even understand what the conversation was about. We see that the woman was already with her cell phone calling Clark Kent to tell him everything everything she heard. Indeed, the demonstration was taking place in a secret location, and that man showed the new weapons created by Lex Luthor, which are capable of destroying anything. But to their misfortune, Superman arrived at the same moment. These shots didn't affect his invulnerable body, but the tree trunk Superman used to defend himself ended up exploding because of the shot. The strange man tried to run, but Superman appeared right in front of him, and as evil as he can be, the man fired a shot at a nearby bridge, and this bridge was destroyed. The train that was going to pass through it was about to fall off. Superman had to rush. With 2 pieces of steel, he prevented the train from falling off the bridge. He held everything, and the man managed to escape. Later, Superman went to talk to Lana. Everything she said was true, and she wants to keep on investigating Lex, but Superman says that it's too dangerous. However, she will continue because she is enjoying everything. Not to mention that she still has feelings for Clark Kent and would very much like them to have a relationship. She even got closer and kissed Superman. Lex Luthor watched everything from afar, and in the next morning, while the two of them were having breakfast, Lex invited her to dinner tonight, and then he received a call. During such call, he pretended to be very nervous about the person he was talking to and set a place in another city for the next weapons demonstration. Lana overheard everything and warned Clark about what was going to happen. The woman is very excited. She wants to keep on investigating for the rest of her life, but Superman warns her that it's very dangerous. Even so, since he received the information, Superman went to check out the place. He parked his car in a hidden spot and then flew away. At that moment, however, Lana left her apartment to go to Lex's, but the car he sent was being driven by that evil man. He said that today is the last day of her life. It seems like Lex Luthor wasn't very happy. He really liked Lana Lang and didn't want her to be destroyed, but unfortunately he has no other choice. We see that the woman was taken to one of Lex's factories. She's going to be thrown into a cauldron full of molten lead. No one will ever find her body. The man says that no one will come to save her because Superman is in another city looking for a shipment of weapons that doesn't exist. But at that moment, Superman appeared. He didn't believe the information Lana gave him. He suspected that Lex had orchestrated everything just to deceive her. That's why he followed her and arrived in time to save her. The man will continue attacking with modern weapons, and Superman told Lana to hide. He just didn't notice that she hid in the weapons vault. Superman was being hunted by that man. There's a lot of lead in that place, and because of that, it's very easy to hide. The man insists on revealing his position by firing shots. He thought he had defeated Superman, but the Man of Steel is very powerful. With one shot, however, the man punctured one of the boilers and caused all the molten lead to spill out of the factory. He ended up in trouble. He's about to fall into the middle of all of that molten lead. The place where Lana was hiding was also invaded by all the molten metal. She hung herself from a lamp and is about to be destroyed. The ceiling is breaking apart, but luckily Superman appeared at the last moment. He saved her and the factory exploded. The evil man was completely destroyed. All of this led to Lex Luthor being investigated by the justice system. And a few days later, Lana went to the Daily Planet to talk to Clark Kent. She said she was going to travel to Paris for a while. She needed a vacation after what happened, and before leaving, she said that if Clark Kent changed his mind, she'll always be available if she wants to date her. He only needs to fly to Paris. After that, a tank appeared in the center of Metropolis. He wants to invade the building where all the gold from the state is kept in. The police immediately came to try to stop those criminals from invading the place, and 2 detectives also appeared to help. It seems that the police have no chance of defeating a gigantic war tank, and meanwhile, Clark Kent was stuck in traffic with Lois Lane, and because of all that traffic, the woman decided to get out of the car to investigate. The tank was destroying the entrance to the building and was about to steal all the gold. Other journalists appeared with helicopters to film everything that was happening. At that moment, Superman appeared as well. The leader of the operation was watching everything on live television and got very angry. The tank finally managed to break into the building, but Superman pulled it out. He was attacked by the tank's cannon and ended up falling unconscious. Luckily, Superman got up and quickly dodged the shots. He then broke the tank's cannon and opened the top of the vehicle and removed the criminals from inside. We see that one of the detectives was saddened. After all, his presence in that place was completely useless. Besides him, the leader of this criminal operation was also very angry. After that, the detectives gave a press conference and said that they don't know who is behind this tank attack, but they guarantee that they will find out. And one of the journalists said that, in fact, the detectives are waiting for Superman to bring the criminals to justice, and the woman is even bolder than that. She says the police can no longer solve any crimes in the city. Superman is the one who really has to do the work. The detective was very angry about it. After all, the woman practically said he is useless. The other detective, called Maggie, said the entire police force is happy when they receive help from any citizen, including Superman. Meanwhile, the leader of those criminals was in his warehouse full of weapons. He's angry because none of those weapons work. His crime competitors have weapons of mass destruction, and everything he has are toys that do nothing against Superman. Suddenly, everything started to shake. A man appeared in that place and introduced himself to them. His name is Kanto. He says he's in there because he was authorized to offer help to these men. The criminals try to threaten him with their weapons, but those weapons don't scare this man. He then demonstrates his own weapon. It's so powerful that he can dismantle the weapons in the hands of those criminals. He says that this weapon will be a gift for them. And that's not all. They go outside and the man shows a kind of laser that can melt tempered steel as if it were butter. The leader of the operation was impressed, but still he doesn't understand why this man is there to give him some gifts. The man is about to show him another weapon. It's a pair of gloves that, when activated, they form two gigantic hands made out of pure energy. Those hands follow all the commands of whoever is wearing those gloves. We see that the detective went to investigate that place. He was climbing the wall and saw when the man used those gloves to tear the steel safe in half. Kanto explained that the energy from those hands greatly increases the user's strength level. The boss said he really liked those weapons and will accept them, but he wants to know what the man wants in exchange for the weapons. Kanto, however, says that for now his boss doesn't want anything. The criminal leader got suspicious. He says that nothing can cost too much, but the man said that all of this is just a free sample. His boss will explain everything at a later time. This man then left the place and the detective was still outside investigating. He saw when that man used a remote control to simply disappear from that place. When he returned to the police station, he told everything to the other detective and he told her he had never seen anything quite like it. Maggie says that he shouldn't have invaded the criminal's territory. It could have been dangerous, not to mention that the police have to act within the law. They have procedures to follow, but this only made the man even angrier. According to him, Superman doesn't need to follow any procedures. The detective promises that he will capture those criminals because he knows they are the ones responsible for the tank accident. We see that those criminals were already prepared to commit another crime. They went to a train station to intercept a train that was arriving with a shipment of gold. As soon as the train approached, one of the men used those gloves to destroy the train tracks. The driver couldn't stop the vehicle, which fell from the top of the overpass. After the accident, another man used that laser to create a hole in the train. They were attacked by the security guards with regular weapons, but using that staff, they destroyed the weapons. The detective learned what was happening through the radio, and the man called Maggie to accompany him. That is, if she didn't want to wait for Superman. Meanwhile, Clark Kent was at the Daily Planet when Lois Lane arrived in a hurry. She told him about what just happened at the train station, and he then used the elevator shaft to disguise himself as Superman and went there. The men were stealing all the gold when the detectives appeared. One of them destroyed the car's engine with that laser, and the two of them were about to lose their lives falling off a cliff. Luckily, Superman appeared to save them. One of the criminals had the audacity to challenge Superman to a duel. Using his energy hands, he hurled the car at Superman and destroyed the power lines. The Man of Steel had to prevent it from falling on a train, and in the meantime, the criminals disappeared. Lois Lane arrived afterwards. The detective was arguing with Maggie, saying that he knows who ordered all of this to happen. They have to go to his house to investigate, but the woman says that this man is very very dangerous. They can't go alone, they need Superman's help. But the detective is angry. He doesn't accept Superman's help. He wants to handle the job himself, and because of that, he decided to resign from the police force. Superman arrived and didn't understand why that man was so mad. We see that he went and broke into the mansion of that criminal leader during the night. He managed to go undetected and used a device to listen to the man's conversation until Kanto appeared. He caught the detective red-handed and captured him with one of his technological weapons. Next, they went to meet with the criminals. Kanto said that his boss was very happy to see that these criminals had used those weapons they were given really well. The leader of the men wanted to know who his boss was, but Kanto ignored his question and said that his boss was so happy that he decided to give them a new weapon. That weapon emits an extremely powerful amount of energy, capable of destroying even the most invulnerable of the targets, Superman himself. The criminal was very happy. While they were talking, the detective tried everything to free himself from his bonds. Meanwhile, Superman and Maggie were looking for the other detective. He disappeared and they don't know where he is. The criminal was about to destroy the detective with his new weapon and said that he too will dominate the world with the help of those technological weapons. But suddenly, one of the equipments started making a lot of noise. Kanto explained that it was a threat detector. It detects Superman. The criminal was happy because he would be able to test his new weapon. And at that moment, Superman appeared. The other criminals hit him with very powerful shots, but they were still not enough to destroy the Man of Steel. He managed to return one of those shots, and now he finally invaded the warehouse. The man using the energy gloves managed to hold Superman, but the Man of Steel proved to be much stronger than those gloves and bent the fingers of the gloves, breaking the man's hands as well. Superman finally managed to find the detective, who told him to get away because the criminal had a weapon that could even destroy him. Soon, the man appeared and shot at Superman with an extremely powerful shot. Then he started missing all his shots, just like a stormtrooper. While this was happening, the detective was trying to free himself. Superman fell, and the man said that the most interesting part of this weapon is that it wasn't even at its maximum power. When he turned on the maximum power, the man was ready to destroy Superman, but the detective freed himself and managed to save him. He began fighting against the man, but got knocked down. Superman took advantage of this to heat the weapon with his heat vision, and the man could no longer hold it. Kanto tried to disappear, and Superman didn't arrest the man because he went to save the detective. On his way out, Kanto opened a portal to escape, and the man wanted another weapon to help him, but Kanto wouldn't give anything to him. With no other choice, the man threw himself against the portal and disappeared with Kanto. In the end, the detective told all the journalists that he was very happy because thanks to Superman, they managed to dismantle this criminal gang. The woman says that in fact, it seems that Superman saved the detective, but Superman himself appeared to say that she was wrong. In fact, the detective saved his life, and he was there to thank him. Superman then left the place, and we see that the detective now really likes him. After all of this, we are taken to a strange planet. That man followed Kanto to this place and demanded answers. He wants to know who Kanto works for, and the man introduced him to his master, Darkseid. He welcomed that man to Apocalypse, and from now on, Darkseid will be his new master. Thanks for watching.